What's going on, guys? Cultimush back at it with another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about how often do you have to upgrade your graphics card in your PC gaming rig. Now this is actually something that scares a lot of people off from starting to game on a PC because they're so worried about how often do they have to upgrade their graphics card. They think, oh my god, I gotta upgrade my GPU every year or two. Is it really worth it? You know, is it worth it to drop $100, $200, $300 every year or two to get more performance out of your PC? Because yes, hardware is going to deteriorate. If you buy a GPU now, it's obviously not going to perform as well 2 years down the line on the latest games. And then people look at a console and you buy that in 2013, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One released in 2013, and that's going to last you a whole console generation. But what a lot of people don't understand about consoles and PCs is that on consoles there's a lot of stagnation. You're not going to see dramatic improvement year over year in your game's graphical fidelity or performance. Does anyone actually expect that next year PlayStation 4 games are going to magically be running at 1080p 60 frames per second? No. Does everyone want to run the latest and greatest PC games at 1080p 60 frames per second ultra settings? Yes, that's where people get confused. It's because PC gamers have this idea that, man, we want to run every game max setting 60 frames per second 1080p. Well, a lot of them do, but really you don't have to do that. A lot of you guys are going to understand once you get into PC gaming, you don't really care about having maxed out graphics, you care more about performance or resolution. A lot of you guys are going to figure out that you're okay with turning down the settings a little bit, and in that case, if you buy a GTX 970 right now, I guarantee you in 2 years, you're still going to be able to run the latest games at very good settings, maybe not maxed out, and still get great frame rates and get a great resolution to play at as well. But obviously, graphical fidelity that you're getting out of a GPU is going to deteriorate, but that goes for any hardware. That's going to happen with the consoles too. Let me tell you guys something. By the end of this console generation, games are going to look terrible. The frame rate's going to be terrible. We saw that with the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Do you guys remember when Battlefield 3 released on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3? Holy shit, was that game terrible. And if you don't think the same thing's going to happen to the PS4 and the Xbox One in a few years down the line, you're fooling yourselves. Now, if you are the kind of guy that, yes, you must max out every game, you must play at 1080p every single time, or even 1440p, and yes, you have to play at 60 frames per second or higher, then yes, you're gonna have to pay the big money. But a lot of you guys aren't like that. You think you're like that, but then you actually get your gaming PC and you're not like that. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't really care about frame rate. I know a lot, that's like a sinful thing to say to PC gamers. I'm okay with 30 frames per second as long as the game looks great. Don't crucify me. I know I'm in the severe minority when it comes to that. I love playing at games at 60 frames per second, don't get me wrong, but I'm a graphics whore more so. But for a lot of you guys, you're gonna wanna just get 60 frames per second and you're okay with playing at medium settings. Well, in that case, you won't have to upgrade your GPU if you've got a decent GPU, because a lot of these GPUs nowadays, if you buy a GTX 970, right now they're geared to play games at really high settings, 60 frames per second, 1080p, but you're okay with playing games at medium settings, 60 frames per second, so in 2 years, the 970 is still going to be able to do that. Hell, the 960 is still probably going to be able to do that. Hell, even the 750 Ti might be able to get the job done for you. And I don't mean to be a dick and leave out AMD cards. It goes the same way both ways. But yes, if you're one of those people that you want to run the latest games, 1080p, 60 frames per second, maxed out, 1440p, what have you, obviously you're going to have to pay. Obviously, games are going to get bigger and bigger each year and you're going to have to pay for it. But for most of you guys, I really think a GPU like the 960 or the 970 are going to keep you good for 3 to 4 years. And then yes, you're going to have to upgrade. But you know what you can do before you upgrade? You can sell the GPU you have and save a little bit of money on the graphics card you're picking up. One thing that I do like to have an idea in mind about running every game at 1080p ultra setting 60 frames per second or near ultra setting 60 frames per second is the 2-year rule, meaning every 2 years you're probably going to have to upgrade your GPU if you're the kind of guy 60 frames per second, 1080p, maxed out settings. I know a lot of you guys that aren't PC gamers might think that way. You're like, man, I want to max out every game, get 60 frames per second. But that graphical high does wear off at a point. After you see these games at 1080p so many times, you're just like, alright, these games look great, but there's more to the game than just graphics. Just bear in mind that upgrading your GPU is up to you, what kind of performance you want and what kind of graphical fidelity you want. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and always thanks for watching, and if you have any requests for future videos, just leave them in the comment section down below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.